As we have learned in the previous class that applied history is a practical knowledge. Practical knowledge we have learned from the past and we are carry forward to the future. That means whatever we have learned from the past, from our ancestors, that we have to carry so that for the betterment of the future. in the more detail we learn in applied history the visible and invisible relics of the past. Relics means an object, tradition, etc. An object, tradition, etc. from the past that still survives today. It means, for example, if I take Puran Poli is a traditional food of the Maharashtrians, and the ingredients, the method of cooking this, we have learned from our ancestors. If we learn this method from our ancestor, it means many things we have copied from them for the betterment of the future and to improve more better from them. We have carried such things from our past through our ancestors. So in this case, we always wish to know more about the history because they represent the creativity, thoughts, traditions of our ancestors. It helps in building our identity as well. The history of our heritage links us with our origin. What is our originality? Where from we belong? And what is the primitive and modern, and now it's a technological. All this channel we have to go through so that we can understand our origin. Hence it becomes very necessary to preserve it as well as for the benefit of the future generation. Management of cultural and natural heritage. Cultural heritage, it is the form of human creation. It is of two types, tangible and intangible. Tangible culture heritage, this type of culture heritage includes ancient sites, building, artifacts and many things which we have gained from the future. That is the tangible culture heritage. Buildings, artifact, manuscript, return message which is on the tablet they have preserved for us so that we can go through it. Sculptures, painting. Have you heard about the cave painting? Cave painting in the Buddha's period, which is Ajanta and Ellora. We have learned many things from that paintings, symbolic paintings. So this is the tangible culture heritage which is preserved for us. In the museums, in the old libraries, it is preserved. Intangible culture heritage, this type of culture heritage including the following things: oral tradition and their languages, traditional knowledge, social customs, rituals of celebrating festival, style of performing art, certain traditional skills, community, group who represent such tradition, customs and skill. For example, we get to know the message from the traditional attire and traditional jewelries from our past, from our ancestors, and we go through till now also, and of course we'll forward it to the future as well. Here the spinning, grinding flour with the help of this grinder, and the two ladies are making and preparing for their chores. Why we get this lesson from them? That we fulfill our desire of hunger from the chore, and we learned this message after grinding this grain in a flour form. Then only we can have our chapati, right? So we go through the past knowledge and we are applying it in the future, in the present as well. So this kind of knowledge we learn from the past. Here the traditional message which this picture is giving to the child, to the children there, and they have learned the Maharashtrian biggest festival, that is Gudi Padwa, because their ancestors are followers of this customs, the tradition which they have, which in the past they have took place, and now they have to carry uh, in the future as well. So I'm absolutely sure that the kids, they are going to be nurture a good thing, because they are learning in the present and they will carry forward in the future as well. This is the Ajanta and Ellora caves. We have learned that this Hindu dynasty has the founder of this Ajanta and Ellora. Who is the founder and what is the architects? What are the architecture have made this? So who are they? They are the Dravidans. They are Hindu dynasties. They made this Ajanta and Ellora. And 100 BC, that is the Christ era, before Christ era, we are following this Ajanta and Ellora, and we have to preserve it, because this is the part of our heritage, and we have to preserve it, so that the future will be more curious to learn about it. It means the applied history can describe an understanding of our present with the help of the history and finding right direction of the benefit of our future. Culture and natural heritage, that is flora and fauna, management is one of the main aspects of the applied history. The work of conservation and preservation of the cultural heritage falls under the jurisdiction of the Archaeological Survey of India and India State's Department of Archaeology, that is flora and fauna, ecology and geographic characteristics, which is crucial for the sustaining the flora and fauna of particular region. For example, Western Ghat is a very beautiful site of Maharashtra. It is essential for benefit of the future generation to preserve our heritage. That is one. This is the traditional art of Maharashtra, how they have preserved, because we have preserved, so that it is the famous art of Maharashtrians. This is the small natural heritage of Maharashtra, which is very good, and as a atmospheric also Maharashtra's region is very good. And to preserve this thing, one is the biggest archaeological department intact, the Indian National Trust of Art and Cultural Heritage. This preserves the all natural heritage of India, and it is the big India State Department of Archaeology. Now, we requires experts from this field. Without the skill, without the engineers and many experts, photographers, sociologists, archives management and archaeologists we required, so that many things we can apply as a employment sector also. We can open the door the employment sector also, so that the India will be in a better path to improve the economy wise also. Principle of applied history. Without causing any change in original state, first principle of the applied history is without causing any change in the original state. We should not harm any natural heritage, any cultural or natural heritage, so that it can be in its original state. So we should not harm it, and without hurting, second one, without hurting the sentiments of the local people, we should carry forward this to our future. Third one, systematic plan can be designed to employ the local skills in a creative way. Systematic plan, we have to, if we have to renovate the monuments, we have to renovate the museum, then we should not break the rules of it. We should keep it as a authentic as a authentic miniature it is, and we have to carry it. It is essential to avoid the vandalizing of historic and public places, and to ensure that they are preserved for the benefit of the future generation. This is the one of the example of Indian Museum of Kolkata. This is in Kolkata. The founder of the Asiatic Society in 1814 CE, Christ era, Nathiel Village, a Danish botanist, was the founder of the first curators of the museum. This is mentioning that in the earlier history, in the British era, this was not museum, it was a college where they wanted to teach Indians for the betterment of India. But now it is turned as an Indian Museum of Kolkata, where from we get this knowledge from the library, from the old museums we get this knowledge, and we carry through. We make our future generation aware that how this college turned as a museum, what is the history behind it, what are the causes, what are the objectives behind it. We can explain them very easily, because we have to preserve it and we have to maintain it as it is. End of the slide is, we have to preserve it. We should not vandalize it. Without vandalizing, without harming it, we have to preserve it, so that we can apply, and we can prove it as a history, is a best history of India.